Hey guys, it's Rachel from The Living Lamb, and today is my book haul and DVD haul. Just a few side notes before we get started into the video. First, if the lighting is bad, I'm really sorry about that. Yesterday, the sun was a-shining, and I was out for the day and didn't have time to film, and today it's just miserable, and it was the day I was going to film, so sorry about that. And also, if you're just here for the DVDs or the books will be first, but the DVDs will be second, and I'll put a timestamp at the top of the description box down below, so in case you're here for the DVDs, and not the books, I suggest the whole video, but in case you're just here for that, timestamp will be there. So basically my best friend and me have a tradition, and a tradition on reading week, and basically we always go to the bookstore, and this year the bookstore is actually under construction because they're changing the chapters to an Indigo. It's the same chain, it's a Canadian thing, you know. So the bookstore's not changing location or anything, it's just changing names and a little bit of the stylistic stuff because Indigos are a bit different from chapters. But yeah, half the store was closed off, so there's no kids section, no teen section, no bargain section, and it was like a hallway, a Starbucks, a hallway, and then just like a giant room of books. So the selection wasn't that great, so when I came home that night after going back to my best friend's house, I ordered a few books online that I wanted to get in the store but I couldn't get, and, you know, did that. So, without further ado, the first book I picked up was Big Little Lies by Leanne Moriarty, and this one was actually on sale, so I picked it up because I wanted to read this for a while, and I found out I think this one's a tie-in edition, which I'm not too happy with, but, you know, I still want to read it, and I'm still really interested in it. If it's tie-in, you know, I don't usually read in tie-ins, but for this one I'll make an exception, and I think this might be the next book I pick up. I could be reading it by Sunday because I'm filming this on Tuesday, but I'm really excited. This one is, if you didn't know, being turned into an HBO mini-series, I believe. I don't think it's a limited series yet. And I'm not sure 100% what this one's about, but I know it involves, like, mothers and the drama, and there's, like, a lot of mystery, and I didn't want to look too much into it because I kind of want it to be a little bit of a surprise. I've heard that the synopsis, like, I don't know if this is necessarily true for this book, but I heard, like, people say it's best just going blind, so that's what I'm going to do. The next book I picked up was Black Widow Forever Read by Margaret Stohl. I'm not really, like, big into the superheroes, and I haven't seen, you know, any movies with Black Widow. I think she's in the Avengers. Yeah, she's in the Avengers. I'm pretty sure. I hope I'm right about that. But I really wanted to kind of get into the, like, I don't, you know, it's really hard because I want to be included in the superhero world, but I think this is a good safe place to dip my toes, and I like Margaret Stohl's writing. She was one of the co-writers of the Beautiful Creature series, which I did enjoy. And I thought, you know what, like, I'll give it a try. It sounds like a very interesting story. It's getting into the Marvel Universe. I can, you know, have something to contribute to those conversations, and, you know, but this one's basically about Natasha Romanoff. I think that's Black Widow's name. And it's about her and Ava Orlova, who is a Brooklyn teenager whose life has not been average because she's the daughter of a missing Russian quantum physicist. And she's actually a superhero too, and all kinds of stuff ensues, and there's actually a sequel already out of this, so if I like this, at least, you know, there's another one already out. The next two books in my haul are actually two I picked up online. This is all, like, mixed up on my floor because I kind of stacked it, you know, so it wouldn't teeter over. But I ordered Confucius, the first 10 books, and this is a Penguin Books Great Ideas little tiny thing. And if you didn't know, I took in my second year a Chinese history class, and then I saw the same professor that I really liked how he taught the class, and I found it very interesting. It was an 8:30 class, and he managed to keep the, you know, us all awake. So, good sign. And it was a pretty good class. So I took last semester, like in last September to December, Chinese intellectual traditions, and we talked about Confucianism, Taoism, Buddhism, you know, the works. And I really like the Confucianism analects. I really enjoyed their sayings. I have some of them actually on my bulletin board. And I know this is only the first 10 books, so I need to get another edition eventually, but I just like the little size of this. It was a very cute edition, and I really found it interesting. I really want to continue my studies into Chinese history, so if you have any recommendations about Chinese history books, definitely let me know, because I'm really interested because I've been studying it for a while, and I just find it has such a rich history. And the next book I actually ordered online too, and is Disclosure by Michael Crichton. And if you guys don't know, I really like Michael Crichton, the books I've read from him. I haven't read very many. I've read 3. Well, Airframe, I'm almost finished it. But I really want to read this one, and this one is actually, there's a movie about it, and basically it's about a guy who, named Tom Sanders, and after a closed door meeting with his new boss, a woman who's his former lover and has been promoted to the position he expected to have, he finds himself caught in a nightmarish web of deceit in which he's branded the villain. So it sounds not very like a Michael Crichton book that I've read, a lot of, like, action adventure, and apparently this one is a very scary movie. Or not very scary, but people found it, like, pretty scary or, like, intense. I'm pretty sure it has Michael and I'm blanking on his name right now. If his name is even Michael. You guys would know if you search it, but I'm really interested to read that one. I really want to read more Michael Crichton this year. It's definitely a priority, so I stocked up on a few of his books. The next book, these are all mixed up, but the next book I ordered is actually from Book Depository, and it is The Best of Adam Sharp by Graham Seamsian. Now, if you guys have watched my channel, I think The Rosie Project is right behind me. The Rosie Project and The Rosie Effect. I absolutely love them. And this book does not come out in Canada till April, and I really, really, really want to read this, and I think I'm saving this. By the time you watch this, I'll be reading it, like, sometime this upcoming week, but I want to save this. Like, I got it last week, but I'm saving it for my back to school book because, you know, like after a week off, you don't really want to go back to school, and this could be like a little treat to read on the way. But I ordered it from Book Depository because I didn't want to wait till April, and I saw it was coming on the UK, so it's like, really want to read it. I really love his books, and I cannot wait to read some more, so really excited about that. The next book I picked up was Good in Bed by Jennifer Weiner. By the time you watch this, my review for Hungry Heart, her memoirs, has not come out, but I absolutely loved that book, and this is her first book, and she was describing the process of writing it and about the plot in that book, and it kind of piqued my interest, and I really wanted to pick it up. And I saw actually they have a sequel to this one, so wouldn't even have to wait for a sequel, but I haven't read any of her books, so I'm going to, you know, jump in with her first novel, and I think that'll be a very good place to start because, you know, being the first. And this one is about a girl who basically she finds out that her ex-boyfriend wrote an article about loving a larger woman, like incidentally about her because they're broken up now, and it kind of plunged her to misery and the most amazing year of her life, and it's kind of where she goes from Philadelphia to Hollywood and back home again. She charts a new course for herself, mourning her losses, facing her past, and figuring out who she is and who she can become. And it sounds like a really good contemporary book, so I'm excited to get to that one. And the next two books are actually Michael Crichton books, and the first is Timeline, and this one actually is a movie too, and I actually saw the movie trailer and it really interested me. It was in 2003, and it's basically about basically scientists, or not scientists, but these historians are like, this is from what I grasped, are basically like doing some research, and then they have the chance, or they get transported back into the past and kind of have to survive. And that's the kind of gist I'm getting from it, and it kind of gives me Jurassic Park vibes, being like in a jungle and having, you know, the survival instincts. And Michael Crichton writes a very good suspense novel, so I think it's gonna be great. And the last book I picked up with my haul is The Andromeda Stain by Michael Crichton, and this is another one of his releases. And I wanted to read this one too because it has a movie and it has an A&E miniseries that came out a few years ago. And basically this one is about, it's like, I don't know what this is. It's an extraterrestrial organism, and it basically falls to orbit in Earth and like is killing off everybody, and they have to figure out like how to stop it. And this one, I really like the printing of this one because like for a Michael Crichton book, most of my Michael Crichton books are this kind of like mass market paperback, but they're not really mass market. They're a bit taller than mass market, and this one is like, it's pretty big font too, so I think I'm going to be reading this one really soon because I really want to watch the miniseries. The last thing I picked up from the bookstore was a notebook, and it says It's Written in the Stars. And I really love Indigo's notebooks. I use a lot of them. I really like this one because it's like hard, but it has like a squishy kind of texture. And it's just a regular, you know, like notepad. And I really just need a new notebook to fill because I have a lot of ideas, and sometimes I just need to buy a new notebook to fill ideas because some of my other ones are allocated for other uses, and I want to get back into my writing, so I need to have a fresh start, get back into it. Now we're moving on to the DVDs. I have 4 DVDs that I picked up. So the first one is Sabrina Down Under, and this is a like companion movie to the Sabrina the Teenage Witch series. The Sabrina in Rome, I think that's the movie, that's the title of the movie. That one was included in the 7th season DVD, but this one was never included. And because I didn't know this one, I saw this one on Amazon. It was like new on DVD or something like that, like based on like what I bought. And I was like, I thought that was on the seasons, and I was like, wait, like I was really confused. And because I thought it was a Florida one at first, because I remembered there was an Australian adventure when I was younger, like watching it on YTV, and I was like, I remembered this guy with, he's on the back, but this guy with the blonde hair, I do have the book, but like I remembered like a lot of the stuff that happened in at least the beginning of the film and some of the ending, and I was like, no, it must just be the Disneyland trip that they took in the 4th season or something, like I'm making it up. And I was like, I'm not making it up, it's actually real. So I picked this up to add to my Sabrina the Teenage Witch collection because it's one of my favorite shows. The next thing I ordered was Westworld, and this is actually the film that came out in 1973, I believe. And this is actually written and directed by Michael Crichton. And if you just watched my book haul, if you didn't skip ahead, I really love Michael Crichton's properties. I'm a big fan of Jurassic Park, and I really want to, He's such a great writer, and his books, like, they are long, so they kind of intimidate me, but I really want to read more of his works because I just really think he's like a phenomenal writer. He really knows how to tell a captivating story, and I just want to appreciate more of his works. And he's really big in TV. Like, he dominated two fields, and he was like, well, like two like entertainment fields, and like books, TV, movie. Like, he was also the creator of like ER. I haven't seen that, but like eventually I might want to get to that because he did, you know, create it. But this is basically, there's a TV show that just came out on HBO. I'm sure all of you have heard about that, but I really wanted to watch the movie first before I watched the TV show. And yeah, I just want to see how it is. And this one was actually on sale on Amazon, so it was a perfect time. The next movie, not movie, but the TV show I picked up was The Andromeda Strain. And if you just watched my book haul, you know I just hauled this book. So I wanted to buy the TV show to go with it. And this is like, I think, a 4-hour mini series. And I looked at the trailers. I really want to watch it. The film was a little bit more expensive, so I'm going to wait till I read it, watch this, and see if it goes down a bit. But I really wanted to watch the TV series because it is more recent, and yeah, pop culture is great. Yeah. Yeah, pop culture. Don't know where I was going with that. And then the last thing I picked up from Amazon was a movie I wanted to see for a while, and it was on sale for like $2 and something. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to bite the bullet and see it. And it's the Grand Budapest Hotel, and I've seen like a lot of things on this, and I think it was up for a lot of Oscars, or it won quite a few Oscars. But I've wanted to see it for a while, and, you know, I just thought I'd pick it up for that price because I wanted to see it. And I was going to get it originally for the library, like, with my best friend a few years ago, like a year ago or something. We were going to get it from the library, but then we didn't end up watching it. And since it was on sale, I was like, you know what, I might as well just pick it up because I've wanted to see it, and it would be more expensive to rent it from, like, iTunes or something, or to, you know, see it. And yes, that's basically it for my book and DVD haul. Suffice to say, I won't be buying books and DVDs for a little while now because, you know, I need to save and I have a lot to work with. And yeah, if you've read any of these books or like watch any of these films, TV shows, definitely let me know. Please, no spoilers. Like, out of all this, I've only watched this. So if you have spoilers about this, jump ahead. Or, no, I'm not going to try to make a pun. But anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.